Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are very excited to have Sifu Mimi Chan from Wa Lam Kung Fu Temple. I'm so excited for today's event. We are going to be seeing a Kung Fu demonstration presented by Wa Lam Kung Fu Temple. This project was made possible in part by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. The Wa Lam Kung Fu Temple has been teaching students authentic Chinese martial arts here in Central Florida for 50 years. So exciting. Congratulations, Wa Lam, for your 50th anniversary. You can learn more about Walam Kung Fu Temple by visiting walam.com. We'll be putting the link for that website in the chat, so be sure to check that out. Today, again, we get to see an awesome Kung Fu demonstration by the Walam demo team. We will be having a Q&A at the end of the demonstration. So if you have any questions, be sure to put those in the comments. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and bring Mimi on the screen here. Thank you, Sifu Mimi, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
All right, thank you so much. We are excited to be here live from the Wa Lam Kung Fu Temple. We are going to kick things off first with a traditional Chinese drum show. Please welcome the Wa Lam drum team. To watch this traditional Chinese Kung Fu performance. You just watched traditional Chinese drumming, which is often performed and played for our Kung Fu demonstrations, as well as the traditional lion and dragon dance. Next, you'll be watching a performance of Wa Lam Kung Fu forms and weapons. Kung Fu originated in China, and there are hundreds of different styles of Kung Fu. One of the main characteristics of Kung Fu is defined by the region from which it came. So it's divided by northern or southern China. Our style is the northern style of Kung Fu because our great grandmaster came from the northern part of China. One of the ways you can tell if Kung Fu is northern or southern is by the Kung Fu bow or salute. The Kung Fu bow is one hand is open and the other hand is closed. In the northern style, we have a right hand open and the left hand closed. In a southern style, it would be the opposite. Kung Fu is also identified by a family style name or an animal. So family names were adapted because in the olden times, Kung Fu was only taught to family members so that all of the moves and techniques were a secret. Now, there are also various animal styles of Kung Fu. So many, too many to name, but there's tiger and crane and monkey and also the praying mantis, which is our style of Kung Fu that you're going to be watching today. Our style is unique because it combines both a family style of Kung Fu with an animal style of Kung Fu. Because our grandmaster named Lei Quan Shan, who came from the north, developed the Wa Lam Tom Tui Northern Praying Mantis style of Kung Fu. So that's a really long name. We kind of just go by Wa Lam Kung Fu so everybody can remember and recognize it. Kung Fu is also great for all ages to learn. We have students as young as 3 years old here, and we've even had practitioners in their 90s. We teach another form of martial art called Taiji, and that is a slow internal martial art, and that's also great for all ages as well. Practicing Kung Fu helps you keep in shape both physically and mentally. Some of the benefits of practicing Kung Fu are improved health, flexibility, strength, stamina, concentration, and self-control. As you can see in the background, our school is a traditional Kung Fu temple. All of our students here learn about the tradition in the culture as well as the philosophy in addition to their training. We teach our students to learn kindness, fellowship, hard work, respect, and control. Students will also learn to count and learn basic commands in Chinese. Today, you're going to watch a variety of performances from students of all ages. Kung Fu forms are a series of movements designed to help the practitioner work on their stamina and their technique. It's also a form of movement and patterning that is proven to help cognitive brain function and memory. You're also going to see traditional Chinese weaponry and fighting sets. The fighting sets are to emphasize learning how to apply the movements in our forms in self-defense, attacking, and defending. All of our performers here have been practicing anywhere from 2 to 15 years, so please do not try this at home. However, we do encourage your participation by cheering for the performers, even though we are here virtually. So you can get up, cheer, clap, scream, whatever you want because you're in your own home. Also, you'll notice that our performers are wearing masks for safety and distancing. Now, let's get started with that Wa Lam Kung Fu show. Our first performer is really excited to be here. He is our 5-year-old named Eamon, here to do something called locking hands. Let's give him a big welcome. We're going to go up in age a little bit to some of our youth performers. Please welcome our group of boys, Alec, Justin, Julian, and Kaden, doing a Wa Lam Kung Fu form called 16 Hands. Where you're going to see the application of attacking and defending. We have 2 of our assistant instructors here, Josh and Andrew, who are going to be showing you a 2-person self-defense form. Let's welcome them. Tui. So earlier I told you the full name of our style, Walam Tam Tui, Northern Praying Mantis. This is the Tam Tui techniques. Please welcome our instructors, Flores and Nick. Now you're going to see a Kung Fu weapon, which is very deceiving because it is actually a fan. So please welcome Alexia and Christine with the Kung Fu fan form. All right, next we're going to have another weapon, which is always a very popular one. Everyone's always excited to see the broadsword. Here to demonstrate, please welcome Jake and Andrew. Kung Fu sword. We're going to bring back some of our youth performers to demonstrate Walam Little Open Gate form. Please welcome Tawin, Evelyn, and Jade. Two-person fighting set with the open hands. Next, we're going to show you a weapon two-person fighting set. One will have a sword, the other will have a stick. Let's welcome back Christine and Alexia. With the stick versus the broadsword. We are now going to move on to another form. Earlier I told you that we are a northern style of Kung Fu, which is correct. However, we also teach influences from the Southern style. Here to demonstrate Southern fist, called Nanchan, is Josh. The Shaolin Temple is also located in northern China, which is where most Kung Fu styles actually stem from. Here to demonstrate Shaolin fist form, please welcome back Flores. Next, we've got two performers doing another Kung Fu fighting set. One will have the stick, the other the spear. Let's hear it for Nick and Andrew. I know at home you guys are applauding and it's so loud that my ears would be hurting. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us and watching our Walam Kung Fu demo team performance today. We really appreciate you all being here and learning a little bit about our culture. So I believe it is time for questions and answers.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Sifu Mimi-chan, for presenting today and like bringing us into the temple and showing us all these amazing skills. This was so awesome. Thank you. So we did have a question in the comments. Where is your school located?
Okay.
Do you have adult classes? And if so, how much are those classes?
Wow, okay.
There's the three.
All of that is on our website, which is walam.com, and I believe that is also in the chat box, and you can find it linked in this performance. But we are on Goldenrod Road, at the corner of Goldenrod Road and Valencia College Lane on the east side of Orlando. And just the classes range, depending on how often you come. We do encourage you to go ahead and call in for that information. And of course, we take adults. So we take everyone free all the way to 99.
That's incredible. That is so cool. So if you have any questions for Sifu Mimi, you can place those in the comments. Great demos. Thank you for this awesome presentation. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, do you offer Qigong?
Yes, so Qigong is along with our Taiji program, which I mentioned earlier when I was discussing the history. So that's what you'll see a lot of our 80 and 90-year-olds doing is a lot of Qigong, which is kind of like a breathing form of meditation and building up your inner strength. So our Taiji class focuses a lot on Qigong exercises as well as going through the traditional Taiji Yang style.
That's so cool. Do you practice with Kaylee or eskrima sticks?
Nope, this is a
No.
Chinese art form, so all
Okay.
of our weapons are traditional Chinese weaponry.
Okay, cool. Do you hold Buddhist services too? And what other services are at the temple?
So this is a temple in terms of martial arts. So this is not a religious temple at all. What you see in the background, all of this is very martial, and it's really just there to allow the students to learn about the culture, tradition, and our lineage. So they learn about respect, and that is why we do bowing and we do light incense, but none of it is religious. So we don't hold any religious or Buddhist ceremonies here. There are a lot of Buddhist temples in Orlando. For those looking, I think you can Google that. But here at the Waldom Kung Fu Temple, it is a martial arts school, and it's called Temple after the name of the Waldom Temple in China, where our great grandmaster studied. So we honor that by keeping the name. But again, the word temple, I know, can be a little confusing. It is a martial arts temple and not a religious service.
Okay. We have a question from Stacy here. Her kids would like to know if you have any videos online that they can watch. Thank you.
Absolutely. We have a lot of videos online. So actually, if you go to youtube.com/Wallum Films, WAHLUM Films, you will see a lot of productions like what we did here. And because, thank you for mentioning, by the way, earlier, Marianne, the 50th anniversary was
Yes.
just celebrated recently. We have a wonderful production that we did virtually because we were unable to host a live performance, which we normally do live shows here in Orlando. So we normally actually have all of our schools from all over the world come and participate. But because of the pandemic, we ended up doing a virtual show. So that is there. We also have a lot of instructional tips, advice, fitness advice, and we have things that you can watch in terms of our showpieces. So please visit our YouTube page, which is also linked from the Wallum.com page. If you go to our website, there's tons of videos there and links to all of the fun things that you can watch about our system.
Cool. Your 50th anniversary video was beautiful. It was so cool. All the shots. It was, yeah, I highly recommend that to anyone who's watching now. Definitely check that out.
Thank you.
Do you offer women's self-defense classes?
Yes, so our Kung Fu class does incorporate a lot of self-defense. Lately, because of the pandemic, we're not doing a lot of physical contact with one another. Hopefully that will start to change, but you will learn individually and be able to work on movements that will gear you up towards self-defense classes as well, self-defense movement. So we definitely encourage you to come in and actually come watch a class. So you are all invited actually to call. However, you do need to book an appointment. Due to our safety protocols, all we ask you to do is call in, make an appointment, come in, and you can actually observe a class that's appropriate for your age group. So you can kind of see what you learn here and how the classes are structured.
That's so cool. So Fernando is asking on behalf of Christina, 8 years old, how long have you been teaching?
Oh my. Well, I've actually been teaching almost 30 years already because I started Kung Fu when I was 3, and I won't tell you my age, but I've been teaching for a very, very long time. So the temple here was built in 1980, and I've been teaching for a very, very long time.
That's so cool. Thank you, everyone. I actually had a question.
Sure.
What common misconception about Kung Fu do you hear a lot or do you see a lot that you would like to dispel?
Well, one of the biggest things I think is sometimes people think Kung Fu is just about fighting and is very aggressive. And so I do encourage students to learn self-defense and to learn that it's not just about the fighting. And that's actually the least important aspect. The most important aspect is learning about, for us, teaching our culture and our tradition, and learning that self-discipline and learning control, and of course doing all of that through a really beautiful art form, and that it's also a really great form of exercise. So that's one thing. And also, you can't believe everything you see in the movies.
Yeah. You do see a lot of different things. I'm like, that's not. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it is the movies. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of be careful there. But I also wanted to
Oh,
go back and also remind people that, everybody has different comfort levels. We do also offer online classes still. So that is also an
cool.
option for those of you who are watching us from home, and perhaps haven't ventured out to do in-person training. Our in-person training here, like I said, we have really great safety protocols, and we have this wonderful big open area. Our temple is pretty open air. It's a very traditional training environment. So we are able to safely run classes, but we do still have them online.
Cool. And do you have any advice for someone who's just starting out in their martial arts training?
Yes, practice
Practice.
and be
Practice.
consistent. Yeah. So all of the performers you saw today, even little Amen at 5, he started
Yes.
here a couple years ago. So in order to get up and perform in front of someone, it takes a lot of practice. But also, as a kung fu practitioner, kung fu means hard work. And so in order to improve, in order to start, you really want to be as consistent as possible and practice, practice, practice. So show up to class and work hard.
Cool. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
all of this knowledge with us. I'm just checking comments.
Sure.
If anyone has any other comments or questions to ask Sifu Mimi, you can place those in the comments and I will ask her all of your questions. We have a lot of thank yous. So
Thank you. Excellent. Yes. And I did want
great.
to also encourage, because I know sometimes you see all of the performers and they're very athletic and they're doing all these really
Yeah.
impressive movements. Just know that no matter what, you can start at whatever age and from the beginning. We don't just jump in and make you do the splits right away. So you learn everything progressively and at your own pace for all ages. So you start at the beginning, like any other art form, or if you were learning a language or an instrument, you start at the beginning. So don't be intimidated. Come on in, come watch a class, come and visit the temple. But again, please book an appointment to do so.
Cool. Yeah. And I'm going to put the website in the chat again, or comment, sorry, in the comments again. So that will be a clickable link that everyone can check out. I'm going to place it on the screen again. It's walam.com. And as Sifu Mimi mentioned, they have all of these amazing links on there. You can check out their videos, and all the contact information is on their website as well. So definitely be sure to check that out. And how do you progress in Kung Fu? Is it similar to belts?
So in a traditional Kung Fu system, there's no
Mhm.
color belt. That is a
Okay.
different art form that follows that. But basically in Kung Fu, you start at the beginning, and we do have levels that we progress you through, and it's very systematic, but there's no actual visible representation as you progress through those levels. That's just not part of our tradition.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I don't see any other comments or
All
questions
right.
rather in the
Well, thank you
comments.
so much.
Thank you, Sifu Mimi. Thank you, everyone. Please express my appreciation to all of your presenters and students. That was amazing. I'm just so grateful that you were able to present this to us. So thank you for spending your time with us. We greatly appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe out there. Be sure to check out walam.com. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us, and everyone at home, stay safe.
Thank
Thank you for being
you.
here.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be the first to find out when we have new fun and informative videos for you. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect.